Good evening, everybody, or if you're watching this at a different time of the day, good afternoon or morning. Well, I'm recording this at just about 8:30 local time here, and this is the fifth edition of, it looks like I'm going to have about three more tomorrow scattered throughout the day, maybe two, but probably three. Want to keep these relatively short, don't want to get them extra long here. So anyways, the fifth edition of the Master's Guide and Player Preview. I am Jason Rosman, or at DFS Golfer 23. I'm doing it for awesemo.com this year. So, been having a lot of fun with this, been having a lot of great feedback as well. Whether you're trying to do this and you're jumping in and playing daily fantasy sports, whether you're a bettor or whether you're just a casual fan of golf that's going to be watching this weekend, hopefully you've been enjoying these and we'll continue to support and watch them. So, without further ado, let's dive into the fifth edition here of the 2019 Masters Guide and Player Preview. And the first guy we're going to focus on is Rickie Fowler. Man, this is one of the funnest guys on tour, one of my favorites for sure to watch each and every week. He's just a great ball striker and one of the best putters on tour. It's Rickie Fowler, the 31-year-old from the United States of America. He has qualified a bunch of different ways, but the first one that he gets is the runner-up finish that he got last year to Patrick Reed, so that's the number 11 category. Came in 17th last week at the Valero Open. He actually skipped out on the match play, came 47th before that, 40th the week before, so kind of middling form for Fowler, but prior to that he had a second place and a first place finish earlier in the year, so plenty of good mojo for Fowler. As we mentioned, the runner-up finish in last year, 11th in 2017. His only miscut was in 2016. Since 2011, he has 4 top 12s since 2011, so some pretty course history here for Fowler. He mentions how much he loves this course. 2016 was just a tough year weather-wise that he wasn't able to overcome. So statistically this year, 66th in strokes gained to the green, 71st in greens in regulation, 32nd in driving distance, followed by 8th in the official world golf ranking. So pretty good year for Rickie Fowler, I would say. Next golfer we are going to learn about is Ian Poulter. The 43-year-old from England qualified by getting inside the top 50 in the world, and it was just last year that this guy was, fighting for a job and had to go to the Houston Open to win it to get in this field. Well, not the case this year. He's inside the top 50 of the previous year. Recent form, though, not that great. 64th at match play, meaning he didn't get out of the group stage. 56th at the Players, preceded by a 23rd his previous start. So at the Masters, only one miscut since 2009, but only 3 top 10s also in that span. So maybe somebody you can rely on to get you 4 rounds, but may not have the best finish. As you can see, he did have a top 10 there in 2016 as a 6th place finish. So certainly if he's in good form, can compete here, but historically has finished right around 25th to 30th place, somewhere in that range on an average. This year, statistically, he is ranked 35th in strokes gained to the green, 23rd greens in regulation, 96th in driving distance, which, that's actually a good improvement for him as a guy who's 43 years old. Obviously his distance will suffer as more and more young hitters come out. But still, 96th, not bad. 33rd ranked in the world for Ian Poulter, who, like I mentioned, was fighting for a job. So quite an ascent, quite a last 18 months for him, and certainly would be capped off by a green jacket here this week. Next guy we're going to talk about is his countrymate, Tyrrell Hatton. He is 28 years old. He got in the same way Poulter did, top 50 in the official world golf ranking. He actually did get out of his group in match play, but prior to that, had a blow-up in Tampa at the Valspar and also missed the cut at the Players as well. 44th in his second try last year, missed the cut in 2017. Statistically, ranked 79th in tee to green, 136th in greens, 59th in driving distance, which is certainly an improvement, and has dipped a little bit to ranked 37th in the world this year, playing a little bit more on the PGA Tour and missing a couple cuts and not a ton of good finishes. So the official world golf ranking has come down a little, but still plenty of room to get himself into this field. Next guy we're going to talk about is Tony Phyno, and man, what a story he had last year in his first start here. He had the hole-in-one at the par 3 contest, and then ended up dislocating his ankle. Still was able to compete and play, and came a 10th in the tournament, which earned him a spot this year. He had also ranked inside the top 50 in the world. He's actually ranked 15. 61st last week at the Valero. Didn't get out of his group in match play, so the form isn't fantastic. A top 25 in the preceding start to that came in 22nd. So interesting for Phyno. His strokes gained Kingda Green numbers is kind of showcasing that for him. He's ranked 40th, which for him it's normally much better. 30th in greens, 12th in driving distance. So Phyno will need to pick it up from Kingda Green if he wants to match that 10th place finish from last year. And although, of course, he loves playing in majors, so don't be surprised if that ends up turning around for Tony Phyno this week. Next guy we're going to talk about is the 2014 U.S. Open. His qualification for this tournament is going to run out at the end of this year. So unless he picks up his play or comes in the top 12 this year, this may be Keimer's last start for a little while. Made the last 3 cuts that he's played in. Also, made the last 3 cuts here. Prior to that, though, missed 4 cuts since 2009. No top 10s. Best finish was that 16th you see there in 2017. So, you know, a guy that you can't really rely on, but the form is better now. Kingda Green this year, 112th. Greens in regulation, 199th. Driving distance, 125th. The official world golf ranking, 194, is not the lowest, actually, in the field. There's actually a guy lower that we're going to learn about here in just a little bit. This guy, however, is not lower. This is Keegan Bradley, 32 years old, from the United States. He qualified by winning a tournament last year, so the number 15 category. Recent form did not get out of his group stage in match play. Pulled the infamous Keegan Bradley, or as it's called, Keeganing, where he had a share of the first round lead at Valspar and ended up missing the cut there. Came in 16th the week before, so pretty good. This will be his first attempt back since 2016. He's only missed 1 cut in 5 tries, so pretty good. And you can see his statistical numbers there. Keegan has had a pretty good year. So we'll move on to Michael Kim. Michael Kim, 25 years old from the USA. He actually won the John Deere Classic last year, which got him access into this event. He's really struggled, though. Since then, he's only made about 4 cuts. This will be his first Masters appearance. He has not made a cut in quite a while this year. As you can see, strokes gained Kingda Green ranked 211th, 206th in greens in regulation, 210 in driving distance, and is the lowest official world golf ranked player in the world that is not an amateur or a champion, past champion playing in the event. So Michael Kim certainly will need to find a lot of magic this week if he expects to play all 4 days, and needs to certainly turn it around here, as the John Deere exemption will run out at the end of next year. So does have a little bit of time, but will need to find something if he's going to be in play this week. Next, we're going to learn about a guy, Jimmy Walker, who's here by winning the PGA Championship in 2016, so we'll see him a couple of more years with that. He's ranked 103rd in the world, so we'll still need to use that qualification unless he can pick it up, or, of course, if he can top 12 this year, that would give him another start, although he wouldn't need it. Has never missed a cut here in 5 tries, so obviously this golf course just sets up very well for him. You can see all these finishes on the board in the top 30. With a guy that's priced pretty low and certainly will give you, as I've mentioned a few times before, Ben Raza is going to be doing the betting preview, and I'm going to be doing the DFS preview. Maybe a guy you can really rely on to get you 4 rounds. Statistically, he's ranked 123rd in strokes gained Kingda Green, 187th in greens, 68th in driving distance. He's coming in, came in 30th last week at the Valero, so he's coming in with some pretty good form. It was his best finish in a little while. So maybe that'll give him the mojo he needs this week to get his season started, at least, or jump started, I should say. Now we're going to learn about one of the amateurs in the field, Takumi Kanaya, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and I certainly apologize to Takumi if that's not how you pronounce it. He's 20 from Japan. He is the Asian Pacific Amateur Champion. He's the number 7th ranked amateur in the world right now. He had a really good finish at the Japan Open. He came in 2nd also at the Emirates Australian Open, where they had a pretty decent field, came in 19th. So certainly been able to compete at the top level. He did miss the cut at the Sony Open, however, this year on the PGA Tour. But certainly a name to watch out for in the future. This guy is highly ranked, obviously, in the amateur world, and is still young and rising through that, though. So definitely in play for maybe low amateur this week, but don't know too much about his game to be able to say if he's going to be able to go out there and pull the Bryson DeChambeau, so to speak, who we'll learn about tomorrow, and compete as an amateur. So certainly a young, exciting prospect in Kanaya, and we'll look forward to hearing more about him in the future. Next, we're going to have our two past champions. We're going to learn about Mike Weir here, the 48-year-old from Canada. He won the 2003 event. Recent form, miscut, but also came in 35th. He's been playing on the Web.com Tour this year. Masters form, he's only made 3 cuts in the last 10 years. So really been struggling. Mike Weir, hopefully he can find his game pretty soon. Obviously, he does not have enough statistics to get anything for the PGA Tour. So the 48-year-old from Canada will definitely need some Augusta magic this week to get him all 4 rounds and get his career maybe back on tracks. Next guy we're going to learn about is the 61-year-old from Wales, Ian Woosnum. He won the 1991 event. He played in a couple of Champions Tour events. He made the cut in both of those, but as you can tell, not great finishes. Actually hasn't made a cut here in the last 10 years, speaking of cuts, so certainly would need a lot to change. And this could be one of his last ones. I'm not sure if he's mentioned or not yet, but certainly going to take a lot for him to get through the weekend. Ian Woosnum certainly wouldn't be playing him or betting him this week. And that's it for this session of the Masters Guide and Player Preview. I'll be out with 3 starting tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow evening, Ben and I will come out with our full preview, which is going to, of course, go over all of this information that we have here that I've mentioned over the last couple of days, and then a quick blurb about the betting side and a quick blurb about the DFS side. So hopefully that'll get people more prepared and a little bit more interested if you're on the fence of wanting to bet or get a little bit of money invested as well. So always a fun week to do that, one of the best weeks of the year to do that. So hopefully you've enjoyed this, and we will see you again tomorrow. Cheers, everybody.